Good morning, grade 6. I hope everybody is doing well and you're ready for today's lesson. So, let's get started. So, before we begin, I would like everybody to please open up their textbooks on page 104. Right, so today we'll be doing a listen and speak. So, we have the before you listen, we have a little purple block that says instructional text. So I will read through that with you and you can follow in your textbook. Okay, so you know that we've done instructions in the beginning of the term of our online teaching, and we had the instructions about how to make pancakes. So today we'll just be going over that but more in detail, right? So, instructional text is a non-fiction text that gives you step-by-step instructions on how to make or do something. They usually follow a specific format, right? So, in the specific format, we always have the title first, right? And the title tells us how to do something, so that it will often contain the word how. So, for example, how to make a pizza. So, instructional text always tell us how to do something or how to make something, and they usually have a step-by-step instructions, right? Also, please remember that wherever you see copy slide, you need to copy this in your book, right? So let's continue. So we had our title, right? Then we have the materials. So these are the materials needed, are then listed under the heading. So you will need. So usually we always have our title first, and then we have our materials, which you will need, right? Then we have the instructions, and they are presented in a sequence or in numbered steps. Right, so usually when we see instructions, they will appear in a certain sequence, for example, in bullet forms, or they will be in numbered forms, right? Okay, and then we have imperatives. So this is the command form of the verb. They are usually used, for example, turn on the oven to 180 degrees. So they usually give a command, right? And we've also learned about that in our previous lessons. And then lastly, we usually have diagrams with labels are often included to help the reader visualize what to do. So diagrams would be little pictures that are given with the instructions, just to give you a visual of how it's supposed to look while you're doing that specific step, right? And also to note, you need to copy down this slide as well. Okay, so now I will read an instructional text to you, so you need to listen very carefully. It will be about how to make a rain gauge. So I have the text on the screen. You're more than welcome to follow with me as I read along. How to make a simple rain gauge. There are a variety of commercial rain gauges available on the market. However, making a rain gauge is quick and easy. Chances are you already have everything you need to make the simple rain gauge, which is fun to construct and interesting to use. You will need 1 2-liter plastic bottle with consistent diameter, sharp scissors, paper clips, a bucket full of sand or gravel, a measuring cylinder. Instructions. Step 1. Cut the top off of your plastic bottle. Be careful to cut the edge as smoothly as possible, salvaging both pieces of the bottle. Step 2. Remove the bottle cap and turn the top part of the bottle upside down, placing it into the bottom part. Connect the two halves with paper clips. Step 3. Place the plastic bottle rain gauge in a location where it will easily collect rain. Step 4. Help your rain gauge stand upright by placing it in a bucket filled with sand or gravel. Simply make a hole in the sand or gravel and push the bottle gauge into it. Step 5. Measure the amount of rain caught in your gauge by emptying the contents of the bottle rain gauge into a measuring cylinder. Okay, so that was our instructional text about how to make a rain gauge. So as you can see, we have a title, right, which is on top that says how to make a simple rain gauge. Then we have our materials, which are what you will need, and that's listed in bullet form. And then we have our instructions, which is in a specific format, and we can see it's numbered in step 1 to 5, right? Okay, so then we have the after you listen questions. So you will then need to answer all of these questions in your book, and that will be for homework. So you will need to write the heading, date and page number, then draw a line. First thing you need to do is copy the slides with all the definitions and steps. After you copied your slides, you will then need to answer the after you read questions 1 to 10 on page 104. And we all know this must be completed in your English workbook, and homework will be due on the 6th of May, which is tomorrow. Right. So I hope everybody learned more about how an instructional text works and what goes into it. You must enjoy your homework, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.